U.S. military moves into place for possible strikes on Iran as diplomacy and tensions escalate. The United States has significantly ramped up its military presence in the Middle East, positioning forces for potential action against Iran as high-stakes diplomatic negotiations continue to stall. According to reporting by the New York Times, U.S. administration and Pentagon officials say the buildup has reached a point where President Donald Trump could order strikes as soon as this weekend, though a final decision has not yet been made. Massive military buildup underway. The deployment of U.S. forces to the region has been one of the most intense seen in years. The buildup includes 2 aircraft carrier strike groups, numerous warships, hundreds of fighter jets, refueling tankers, guided missile destroyers, and advanced air defense assets, all within striking distance of Iranian targets. Among the vessels heading toward the region is the USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest and most advanced aircraft carrier, which is sailing toward the Mediterranean and ultimately the Middle East, alongside the already deployed USS Abraham Lincoln Group. Military officials say this posture is designed to give the president a wide range of options, from targeted airstrikes on nuclear and missile facilities to larger, sustained military operations if diplomacy collapses. Diplomacy continues, but gaps remain. Despite the mounting military pressure, U.S. and Iranian diplomats have maintained indirect talks to avert war. Senior Iranian officials in Geneva discussed possible frameworks for a diplomatic resolution, and Tehran is expected to submit a written proposal aimed at addressing core U.S. concerns, including nuclear limitations, within the coming weeks. But key disagreements endure. Washington insists Iran must abandon most of its nuclear enrichment efforts and curb its ballistic missile program, while Tehran has repeatedly insisted it will not give up enrichment and only agrees to discuss limited concessions in exchange for easing sanctions. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt acknowledged that progress has been made, but stressed that the 2 sides remain very far apart on some issues, leaving diplomats and military planners in a high-stakes balancing act between war and peace. Iran responds with military maneuvers and strategic fortification. Iran has signaled its own preparedness, conducting naval drills and exercises in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global oil shipments, and even temporarily closing sections of the strait during live-fire drills. Satellite imagery has shown Iran reinforcing sensitive military and nuclear sites, burying tunnel entrances and fortifying missile bases previously damaged in past conflicts. Analysts suggest these moves reflect Tehran's effort to prepare for a potential confrontation while still engaging, cautiously, in diplomatic maneuvering. Regional and global implications. If the standoff escalates beyond threats and preparations, the consequences could be far-reaching. A military campaign involving the U.S. and potentially allied partners, including Israel, could last weeks and target not only Iran's nuclear infrastructure, but its broader military and missile networks. Russia has already weighed in, warning that any U.S. strike could have serious repercussions for regional stability and urging restraint to enable a peaceful resolution. Meanwhile, many Middle Eastern nations are watching cautiously, aware of how any conflict might disrupt global markets and energy supplies. A world on edge. With U.S. forces increasingly prepared for possible strikes and diplomats seeking a fragile compromise, tensions between Washington and Tehran remain among the most volatile international security flashpoints of 2026. Whether the next chapter will be a breakthrough agreement or a descent into open conflict may be decided in the coming days, underscoring the high stakes for both nations and the wider world.